Good good morning, Libby. Welcome in.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I worked, but it wasn't too bad. Just pretty chill work day. I worked on Sunday, so other than that, I had a relaxing weekend. I hung out with some friends, or a friend, trying to limit social interactions as much as possible, so keeping it close and chilling a lot, basically.
Sure. Social distancing, it's become a thing.
I
I'm glad
know.
you found it fairly easy to do so.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm thinking there's going to be a few different changes, but what I would like to do today is kind of recap what we've talked about in the past. But before we get started, I just want to reiterate that I am a mandatory reporter. So if something comes out in this interview that is signaling that you're going to be harmful to yourself or others, I'm going to have to report that. And also, my professor will be viewing this video as well, and she would have to report it as well since she is also a mandatory reporter. Is that cool that we move on from that?
That's cool with me.
Awesome. Well, so it's we you came in with a very what seemed to be simple issue, and what I heard from you over the last couple interviews was, first of all, you feel much better when you're getting a good night's rest.
Yes, that's true. If I'm able to get, at least 7 or 8 hours, then it makes a huge difference. Ideally, I'd be getting like 9, you know.
However, you're finding the ups and downs of your schedule extremely challenging to really fulfill that on a regular basis.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like it's partially my motivation, partially my busy schedule, and just also like I value time to just like hang out at home, get things like that I need to get done. My schedule is looking different coming up with like the whole social distancing, but I think we should talk about, in general, like in normal day-to-day life. And in my normal life, it is hard for me to get the hours of sleep that I need due to my schedule and due to all the things that I feel like I have to do.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So I am wanting to work on that together. Hang on 1 second.
You're good? Amanda has children, so she's gotta tend to them, which I don't mind. I'll just sip my coffee. Cool.
Anyhow.
Everything okay?
Yes.
Cool.
So when we explored that, it was challenges of the schedule, and there's some new things that have come into play. But I just want to really shift back to what the normal day-to-day looks like. And then in our second interview, we were really working for the miracle question and trying to focus on what could be done. And part of that interview, after I reviewed it, it really felt like you were struggling to recognize an exception. So you had this impeding choir thing happening that was really, really early, and so you wanted to keep shifting back to focus on, you knew you were not going to get enough sleep, and it seemed very stressful for you. You knew that Sunday morning when you came up to the interview, or to having to wake up and do a choir performance, that you really want to get that amount of rest. And so we just kept kind of going a little bit backwards instead of a little bit forward. So it was kind of like a struggle. But I do want to check in with you to see, above and beyond all the extenuating circumstances that we're experiencing in our daily lives, what you feel like your rest has been like more recently.
Well, last night and the night before, I actually got plenty of rest. I didn't have to wake up for my morning classes today or yesterday because my professors are having online classes where they just send the information, so I don't even have to wake up to video chat or anything. So, yeah, there was like the stress of the impending waking up that was alleviated, so it's been good lately, at least for the past 2 days, and then I don't usually have problems on the weekends. So,
Okay.
I'm actually proud of myself. On Sunday, I worked a double, so I had to wake up early, but I was able to go to sleep and still get 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I wanted to just go ahead and talk about what you've liked so far about therapy.
Yeah. I feel like it's very validating. It makes me feel less bad about my struggles with sleep because you're really good about making sure like to not like shame me for my things that I struggle with, and so it just feels good to get validation on things like that. I also feel like it's kind of been brought to my attention more that we've been like meeting. So like at night when I'll come home, I'll think back to our meetings and I'll be like, me and Amanda, we've been talking. I really should get to bed early because we've just been examining how like I feel so much better when I go to sleep early and things like that. So it's been a good like reminder, keeping it fresh in my mind. That's been good. I also feel like I'm actually taking, doing an activity that is bettering myself versus like just laying around watching TV, which I could be doing at this time, may not be bettering myself. So it feels good to, take my like emotional well-being into consideration and things like that in my life in therapy. So yeah, those are the main things that have been helpful.
So those are all really amazing strengths, and that you've realized this, and it's been a really positive experience. And I love that you have enjoyed this, and it's made you think ahead, and you have made some really strong positive changes around your sleep routine. However, I am a generalist social worker and still a student, and so my area of expertise is not sleep. However, I feel like we have formed more of an awareness in your schedule. However, going forward, I would really love for you to...
You're at 8 minutes. Sorry.
Okay. Going forward, I would really love for you to think about having a long-term plan. There's been a lot of shifts and a lot of changes in our schedules and our daily lives. First, with the school closing, and now with this coronavirus outbreak, that have changed things, that have some made it worse and more stressful, and some made it better and less stressful. And so I would really love for you to go to a sleep therapist that might be able to help you with a consistent circadian rhythm and help you going forward throughout your life. If you could get like a healthy sleep pattern and work in all the things that are so valuable to you, I feel like that would have a tremendous impact on your life going forward, with even any disruption, good, positive, or negative, that affects your sleep schedule. So how do you feel about that?
I feel okay about going to a sleep specialist. I appreciate that you would refer me out, just because it kind of helps me know that you definitely have my best interests in mind. Because if you feel like there's some things about sleep that you may not be fully fluent in, I appreciate that you would like be honest and tell me that like it would be better for me to see someone who maybe is more expertise in that area.
Okay.
So I appreciate that. I do enjoy therapy with you, but that's okay. Maybe we can meet for other things or something sometime. But yeah, I'm okay with that. Do you have some good names of people?
Yeah, so I was kind of wanting to continue to explore that with you. I also have enjoyed getting to know you, Libby, and you're super adaptive person who has adapted to a lot over time and really focused on the main goal of your sleep. And so I do know that's a priority, which is another reason for me wanting to refer you out. But yes, there's a couple different options. There's kind of a cognitive circadian rhythm therapy that is a little bit more holistic. Then there's also a sleep specialist that I'm aware of that could really pinpoint more of the issues from a neurological and breathing pattern issue. Or there's just a general support group, and we could talk about doing one of those things or a combination of two of those things. I think for you, not super concerned about you from a medical capacity. So the two things that I think really stand out is kind of more of a cognitive behavioral circadian rhythm therapy one-on-one, and or maybe just kind of a support group for goals in general. So a combination of the two. What is there one that stands out to you more?
I think that group therapy could be kind of helpful.
Okay.
One-on-one does seem good too, but I've never tried group therapy for my sleep before. And like having the support of people who are also in my position might be beneficial, just because I do love like being with people and connecting with people. It's like one of my like interests and passions, and it might help me to have more people in a group setting. I'm not sure though. I would be willing to try both one-on-one and group.
Okay. Have you heard anything about like sleep therapy in general?
I've honestly not really. I've only really heard about like, I don't know, like you would see a therapist if you can't sleep, that kind of thing. I don't really know the specifics. I know a lot of people just get on medication. But I think for me, my problem isn't the fact that I lay in bed for hours. It's just the fact that I don't wind down. So I think medication probably wouldn't be the best avenue for me. I think it's more behavior, like how you were saying, but I don't really have that many pre-existing ideas about sleep therapy because I don't really know. Never tried it, besides what we've been doing the past few weeks.
Sure. So, I'm really glad that you're able to go in here pretty open-minded, and yeah, I think the group option is a really good option, especially if you want to avoid medication at this point. And so what I'm going to do is there's a couple different sleep groups that meet around in the area, and I'll go ahead and write those down, and I might even have a couple pamphlets that you could take along with you, and so that would be a good option as well. So that's really great. I'm really glad that you're super open-minded, and we could actually look at some of that stuff to get some of the pamphlets that I have available together. We do have a little bit more time for that, but you as a client have all the options, and I'm here to walk you through every step of the way. So if we try the group thing for a while and it's not really working and you really feel like you need a little bit more one-on-one, then I'm always here to continue those referrals and to support you through your journey. I don't know do you have any additional questions about what that looks like going forward and how the support will come to you?
I think I understand. Will you be able to like call the therapy, like the group therapy leader, and kind of let them know like where I'm at with sleep? Would you be able to do that for me before I go, or is that something that I open up with once I get there?
Absolutely. I'm happy to pass along all the information that you have that we've gone over, as long as you just sign a medical release form, so medical records release form when you leave the office. My receptionist can help you with that as you leave the office, and then I will be more than happy to make that phone call on your behalf.
Thank you so much. You're about at the 15-minute mark, just so you know. But I'm comfortable with you disclosing my information to my new therapist, the group therapist, if you think it'll be beneficial for her to know my situation before I'm going. I trust your opinion, and I trust the group leader too.
Well, I've really enjoyed getting to know you, Libby, and I think your journey is bright, and I'm glad that you've gotten something out of this, and my door is always open for questions or concerns.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Great. Well, I will bid you adieu. Hopefully you have a good client life. Bye.